Alright, here we go. Day 10. I did finally get that video over 1,000. That was pretty cool. Some new subscribers. Welcome. I know you've been waiting to get a view of this channel. Whatever. Today I'll talk more about just buying and selling. Maybe I'll touch on group breaks. Not group breaks. Well, breakers. I don't know. I only say that because I saw that Backyard Breaks pulled some big card, and people are up in arms about whether breakers get loaded cases or whatever. And who knows? It's one of those things like prove it. It's like eventually the cards are going to come out. I guess if you start getting case hit, product hit after product hit after product hit, if you open a ton of product, it is. I just missed that. I used to be able to open the product. I'd call a store, or the store would call me. These are the cases that just landed. And I'd go and I had 2011 Contenders football, or 2012 National Treasures football, or 2012 Tribute Baseball, or a case of Museum. Or if nothing was new, maybe I'd open a case of Prism, and not a lot of expense like there is today, but whatever. But mainly what I want to touch on is this versus this. Personally, I like to buy as large of a collection as I can, and then try and monetize what I can. So I bought an 80s baseball that had sets, wax, all from the 80s. There was a lot of 86. Don Russ the rookie sets. And, it was volume. It was an entire pickup truckload. I bought it. The guy even dropped it off in my warehouse. And I moved the heavy stuff, the sets. I actually drove them out to Indiana. And I made a considerable amount of money, which is why I was doing it. Plus, I had another deal in Chicago that I went and did. So, I'll drive. I'll go wherever I have to go. Doesn't matter. This is what I do. And if it's another state, I go to another state. If it's around the corner, it's around the corner. That deal was literally 1 block over from my warehouse. The guy came to me, said, "Can you come to my house and look?" I looked. I said, "All right, I'll take it." I paid him his money, loaded it into his car, and that's it. And I sold the biggest stuff that I could, the most amount of volume, and I was able to keep stuff like this. And there was bundles of all sorts of players. And then there were sets, 81 and 84, football, baseball. And then there were piles of rookies. I graded all the rookies because it didn't so much, like I'd already got my money back. Plus, from selling all the sealed sets and wax and that stuff, that I just took all of the rookies. Some people it's snafu, but I don't look over my cards before I send them in, because the idea is, that I look at them, I put them in the sleeve, and so I see, if the card's bent in half, I'm not sending it in. But I don't sit here and study the card and spend hours and hours, because most of the time when I'm sending them in, I'm either far ahead on the collection, or sometimes it doesn't really matter. Like some cards, even in low grade, especially if it's a real vintage and big names, then you just want to have it graded anyway. And so I sent in all those rookies, and I have a picture somewhere, but who knows. And they all came back. And then I sold them all in bulk to another dealer. Got my money out of it, got volume, but got rid of volume. But then I'm left with stuff like this. And really, like in 85 Topps Mattingly, I had 900 of them. Some other players too, in this volume. So I put them on eBay, lots of 50 for $50. I've sold a bunch, 6 or 7 lots. Sometimes I give 10% off, $44.99. Sometimes people buy them outright, $50. And I put them in a case. One of these, ship them off. It's basically like free money, because it's not like I equated any value to this when I got it in the collection. And these are the things I like to sell. From the collection that I got this and this in, they were raw. I sent them in for grading. Insanely difficult to see. Whatever. I had a bunch of stuff like this. They're heavy and they take up room. Some people don't want to be bothered, but I rather keep these two cards and do the work selling all of this, because in the long run there's still plenty of this around and I can get more if I ever needed it. These just keep them and move them for something Griffey, maybe, because that's what I actually collect. Yesterday I had, I think, maybe up to 10 listed on eBay, 10 sets of these four 87, 88, 89, 90 Fleer update sets. Someone bought the last three that I had for $109 shipped. Now, both of these cards are worth more than $109. And it's much easier, yes, to list this one card, and when the buyer comes along and pays, the buyer comes along and pays. But this is the stuff that keeps the hobby going, keeps the money flowing. Because if you can start getting more and more of this and moving it along, then you could buy things like this and you could keep things like this and leverage them for something bigger or something you rather have. So that's just my method. Whether it's, piles of 80s stars or even late 70s stars that really aren't worth a whole lot. Still looking at the screen, not the camera. Dog's here. Welcome, Charlie. Then, this is the lost my train of thought section of the video. Then, you move through to stuff like this, which there's not a lot of value, but puts money back in your pocket to buy something else, to buy the next deal that you can muscle through and sell all the volume and keep the good. Or, you have to sell some of the good, right? But that's it. That's all I got. The harder you work, the more you get out of it. I know a lot of people get upset with influencers or whatever. They're putting eyes on things. Who really cares? It doesn't affect my business or whatever. I've had plenty of them come up and want to buy stuff from me and ask if they could film, and I say no thank you. Not interested yet, let alone here I am filming my own videos. What we got over here? Angela and Dwight. Turtles. And it's just like, it's not for me in that aspect of going and trying to move and like big plays and all the other stuff. I've been doing this too long. I don't need to sell to anyone. I have plenty of people I could just call and sell everything to if I wanted. So sometimes it gets a little contentious when people want to buy things at shows and you don't really want to sell because you don't want their number. Whatever. We'll all still be here. There'll still be more cards tomorrow. There'll be more cards the next day. There's no shortage of Pokemon. So, that's it. I don't know where these things came from. Lost them on eBay. But anyway, do the business your own way. Put in the hard work and just keep moving forward. Don't worry about what other people do. You can watch a boring guy like me if you want, or you could just click off. Hell, I got 80-something views. Yes, only about a minute and a half retention time, but on a video where I said, warning, this will be a waste of your time, still got 80 views. It's just mind-boggling to me. But at any rate, I'm going to stop talking because you're bored of me, and I will see you tomorrow, likely, whatever. Thanks for watching. See ya.